4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, we are live. Hey guys, welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. First of all, I want to say a happy new year. Have a great 2025, guys. 2024 was quite a roller coaster of a ride for FPGA gaming, and honestly, I can tell you 2025 is only going to get better. There's a lot of stuff happening. So if anyone's out there in chat, I can see we've got 7 people here already. Hopefully we'll get more. Does anyone have an idea as to who this mystery developer may be? I'll give you a clue. He's been on the channel before. I consider him like a great friend and like my worst enemy at the same time. You know, it's a love-hate relationship. He's been on here a few times and the guy is super awesome. Yo, Wizzo in the house. I'll give you another clue. Wizzo is from the same land that this developer is from, or living in the same land. This developer lives in the same land that Wizzo lives in. So, guys, good morning. Happy New Year. Any guesses? Okay. I'm not going to say who the person is. I'm just going to let them start speaking. Yo, Spitfire, RAF, Anime Otaku in the house. How you doing? So, mystery developer, please come and introduce yourself. I guess a clue is the call that you're seeing on screen now as well. I'm going to go quiet and I'm going to let our mystery guest of 2025 take over.
Oh gosh, who am I again? I keep on having this split personality on Twitter when I was on it all the time. I know, sorry, X now, X. So yeah, it's Murray here, or Mazamars, also known as Ultra FP64 on X. And yeah, back for a new year after a year of being off and not doing any development or anything like that. So
are you sure about the development?
It's been some time, hasn't it, mate?
It has. But
it's been some time, mate.
Do you know what else we've got over here? Now, I know you identify yourself as Murray and Mazamars 312, but and then you kind of talk about Ultra FP64. Now, what I didn't tell you is the Ultra FP64 has actually become a real person, and they actually reached out to me and they said, look, if you've got Mazza coming on this stream, they want to come on as well. Now, you're not going to be able to hear them. I've got a direct audio line with them, but obviously I can repeat what they're saying. And here we have Ultra FP64. And he's actually saying that he's the real talent and you're a rubbish developer. So there he is. As you can see, 100%. He's got a Nintendo 64 100%. And an FPGA chest. And yeah, to be honest, I can't repeat some of the stuff he's saying. That's why I'm not giving him the audio link. But he's using colourful language to call you a fraud and a fake. But I'm not going to take that from him. So Ultra FP64, I'm going to put you away for a while. Learn some manners, be good, and we'll bring you in later on this stream. So, okay, what have we got?
I'm surprised you used that much colourful language, though.
It was like very robotic. It was like, to be honest, it's like Ultra FP64 combined with Stephen Hawking. So you only see the top half. The bottom half is probably some kind of like robotic wheelchair. So
weird thing, yeah.
That's how it's going. So this is what happens. You create a persona on the internet, and it actually becomes real. And you know, we've got that in here. Let me back on. Get out of here, man. All right. Yeah. So, let's look at your core. So this one here is your PC Engine CD core. And I know that you've got some stuff that you're going to share with us. So let me know whenever you're ready to do that. And in the meantime, I'll give, is this Bonk Free? I think this is Bonk Free, or as I like to call it, PC Kid Free. Alan D in the house as well. Absolutely superb. Wicked. So let's do it, as I like to say, pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Actually, I should say that at the end of the stream, right? Pack it up, pack it in. But then after that, he says, let me begin. So I've got, like, it's weird how I've had to channel different kind of sounds through. So I've got Mazamars in, I was going to say in my head. I don't know if that sounds too wrong. But yeah, I guess, you know, if you have someone, it's better to have them inside your head than maybe anywhere else. So yeah, you guys can hear the sound. Mazamars can see my display, but he can't get my sound. And I can't get if I pop the sound through my headphones, it's going to be too much listening to, you know, Mazamars and his alter ego Ultra FP64 along with bonking all these heads. So yeah, you guys have got the best of it. You've got like the sounds, you've got everything there. But we're waiting for Maz to yeah, let us know what he's got on show for us. So in the meantime, I thought I'll put one of his cores on. So this is a port of the MiSTer FPGA core. So Maz has ported a few cores over, some really good ones, including the Neo Geo. What else is there? The Neo Geo, the PC Engine CD, and there's one more, the Amiga as well.
The Amiga.
And I know you're working on some original cores as well, but I won't mention any of those. I'll let you mention those when you feel the time is right. So obviously, guys, the focus of this isn't going to be gameplay when I'm playing, but Mazamars or Ultra FP64 is a very good games player, so we may see some good gameplay from them. But like, why have they given BC Kid or PC Kid Bonk like a butthead? Okay, the butthead's gone. You almost want to.
Isn't that when he steams out or something like that?
Yeah.
So it was something really weird on that side of things.
He's got like a butthead, man. It is literally like a butt cheeks. Yo, Chris Mullin in the house. We got Michael DeLima. Hopefully, we'll get Terminator 2K2 as well. We know he was partying late last night. By partying late last night, he was in bed at 10:30. We actually spoke this morning, and it turned out he went to bed at 10:30. I actually know what time I turned the lights out because I looked at my phone and the time was 22:22, and I was like, am I staying up? But I was like, I feel so sleepy. I'm gonna melt in my bed like a chocolate bar. And I went to sleep, and I woke up at 6 a.m. to like some very, very loud winds, man. It's been very, very windy last night. My garden fence is gone, and I'm not even gonna get it repaired until summer because we've probably got more winds happening. So let's run another core. What we'll do is we'll look at the Neo Geo core because okay, it's not in others anymore. And is it here? Here we go, Neo Geo. So this is a really good core. Big shout out to.
Do you play it with the turbo side much?
I do sometimes, but you know what? I have I kind of like the slowdown in a lot of the stuff. It reminds me of better times. So I have tried it out. Games I haven't played, I like playing on there. But if it's something like a shooter, then I like the slowdown because it gives me a bit of life. Also, I think I might have I think Terminator's made either some adjustment to the ROMs or to your core to support. I think to support SNK versus Capcom Super Plus. There was a couple of games that needed a bit of tweaking. So he, I thought, okay, maybe not. I'm missing something.
That's the infamous. Someone's missing a file there. Yeah.
No, that's cool. Maybe I am. So let's just go with this one. This should work. So it's an absolute I remember getting Neo Geo for this when this was released. It was amazing. Just to think we've got the Neo Geo on a small device like an Analogue Pocket. Absolutely fantastic. So these games take a while to load.
Well,
Go on.
It was great to also develop it way back when we first all started all of this as well. Furtech, who built the main framework and all of that and ported it over to MiSTer, did an excellent job on that. And just moving it over to the Pocket and getting that all going, and then sort of hiding it from Analogue before they sort of released everything while I was, doing the testing of everything on the framework and stuff. And then I released it I think it was like the day after.
Yeah, you released it quick, and
they were all shocked.
Wow. Yeah, no, that was good. I think there was quite a few people that were quite shocked at the speed at which you actually got this release out. Let me just say Happy New Year to Ryan and Vel178, guys. Good to have you here. Hope everyone had a hardware test failed. A resume. I forget what A is. I think A is here. I think it should load. No.
Yeah, I know everyone jumps up about Metal Slug 2, but yeah, that game is notorious for slowdown even on the real hardware.
Oh no, it is, and some people that played it originally, like for example, when it comes to slowdown, I really appreciate the slowdown in like the Street Fighter games. And I know Grego2D made this patch for CPS2, which negated the slowdown, but like. Do you know what? It just feels weird because you kind of get used to the slowdown. Subconsciously, you just realize it's going to slow down here, it's going to do that. And when it doesn't happen in Street Fighter, it just doesn't feel like Street Fighter. Now, if I was playing it for the first time, then I would probably like it without the slowdown. But where I've spent decades playing the same game, I'm very much so used to it. So it's almost become a part of it. So, I mean, I guess the important thing is to have the choice. Like with your cores, you've got the turbo. If you hate the slowdown, if you want the nostalgia of the slowdown, then you've got that option on the original version of the core.
Correct, yeah. And I suppose with the fighting games, like they're not my personal favourite, unfortunately, but you need that accuracy there when you're doing all of that.
Yeah, you kind of get used to the slowdown. That's mad. You kind of get used to the slowdown, even to the point where sometimes so for example, when it slows down, in that time that you can do 1 dragon, you can do 5 dragons, for example. So you're pretty much going to get that out. So sometimes you can even use it as a little bit of an advantage because it slows down, it gives you a little bit of extra time to realize what's going on, and sometimes you could even correct the wrong input. So it's definitely a case of swings and roundabouts.
Just let me answer poor L&D's question there. Yes, you still have to. Just to be blunt on this, I just haven't done any development on the core for, how long has it been now? Geez, over a year. Since I last released the last patch on it.
Is that the PCN CD core, right?
Yeah, it's just software because I'm running a little RISC processor inside the FPGA to get all the CD stuff working. And, just sitting down, getting time to do it this year. Well, not this year. Last year was absolutely hectic, and it was absolutely a nightmare.
Sorry, Ultra FP64 whispering in my ear there, so I was listening to both of you, but he says all of that was incorrect. He said you're a tool.
Yeah.
There you go. Are you ready to share anything yet?
I heard some of the colourful things. Yeah. Well, let's start.
Do you want me to bring up your screen?
Yeah, just give me a second because I'll reset it at the same time. Now,
that's fine. Let me give this a quick blast then.
I'll give it a bit of an introduction first.
Yeah, no worries.
Because there has been a bit of noise about it, because there is another developer working on it, and they're a great guy. I've been helping them out, and that's Grey Rogue, who's doing the MiSTer side of this project, and I've been talking to him a bit, and it's been really nice. And just literally today, I got both. I've just gone the Pocket version of it, just working just literally 5 minutes ago, so it now compiles every time working. But essentially, if you want to bring it up there, mate.
Yep, let's do that.
As everyone wants to see.
They do. Let's bring up Maz's screen.
It's always good.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so this now. Let me reset this anyway and take this to a screen. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get sound from you. And the core, I take it has sound, but because of how the streaming's done, so we're using Discord to communicate and share our screens. So what you're seeing here now, guys, is you're seeing the Atari Jaguar. For anyone that hasn't worked it out, actually running on the Analogue Pocket. And I think you've got another surprise regarding the Jaguar core, which I'll let you.
This one is running on the MiSTer right now.
Oh, is it running on the MiSTer? Okay.
So just to confirm that, there we go. So everyone sees, 100%. And it is. I am using Grey Rogue's his tidy up of the code, and I've given him a whole heap of stuff of what I've done as well to get it to a single core. So that's really good on that side of things. So, there's always helping out, because I actually started this just before a year ago, and then I had to stop everything. So I already knew what the sort of needed to happen and things like that. And I've got it on the Pocket as well, which is really good to have as well. And as I said, literally got it now, so I can compile it every time and it works. So, and it's now, we've gotten the RAM going 100% good now, but the issue that we're having now is there's some sort of thing in the core somewhere that's causing some issues with some games to tidy up. So, it's good to see it all sort of coming forward.
Do you know what? Let's see. Okay. Ultra FP64 says you're going up in his book, but only ever so slightly. So progress is being made. Get out of here, you cyborg. So, what's really good is when the Jaguar core came out, obviously I did a video on it, the one that kind of Grey Rogue reworked. Obviously there was Electron Ash that done a version of it as well. Kitrink's done a version of it. There were a few more people that were involved. Yeah. But it was a dual RAM only core. Now, I've got, because of doing the content creation, I've got 3 different MiSTers. I've got original DE10 Nano, which I bought before I started covering it, what kind of got me into it. Then I got a dual RAM version of the core, and then I got a MiSTer Pi. Now I've got the dual RAM, so I run it. But one of the questions you get in the videos is, will it ever work on single SD RAM? I'm not even sure how I answered it. I like saying never, because one thing that I've always heard since covering FPGA gaming is, oh, this is impossible. But before I came to the scene, apparently PlayStation was impossible, N64 was impossible. So I'm not from a programming background, so I can't comment on that. But it's amazing to see it come out on single RAM. And it's amazing
Yeah.
because
It just
so many people are going to enjoy it now. Like 90% of people have got a single RAM version of the MiSTer FPGA, and this opens up the possibility for them to enjoy this core without extra expenditure.
indeed, indeed, and you know, the graphics all don't look good at the moment until you actually get into the game. Now everything starts looking normal-ish.
No, no,
God, I
it's
haven't played this game in a long time, and I'm trying to remember everything at the moment.
well, yeah, it's a cool looking game. I have to say, it's a game
Yeah,
that the system was known for. So when we saw this in video game
yeah,
stores, you know, it's what we looked at, and it looked really, really good for the time. It's just, at least here in the UK, and just like most of the world,
I forgot.
it just didn't. The machine just didn't perform. It was a commercial flop. It seems to be getting a lot more love now because there's a whole bunch of homebrew titles as well. So I've got your latest version of the core
Indeed,
as well. I should have actually should have pointed you in the direction of like the SD conversions and stuff as well, because they've got some nice SD conversions on there. You've got the normal games. I think you've got some newer homebrew games as well, and I think someone's working on like even bringing Mortal Kombat over to the Jaguar. So Jaguar's definitely
I
getting a
think
lot of
so. Like
love.
these, here's all the ones that I've got right now. There's a whole heap of demos and things like that, you know, to server.
Ah, okay,
And,
interesting.
you know, what I'll do, I'll just quickly chuck on, just to show how bad it is on the Pocket at the moment. I don't want to say how bad it is, but it's always progress and stuff. But, you know,
Mm.
there's the Pocket at the moment.
Oh, is that the
It's
pocket
got some
that we see? Oh,
interlace.
yeah, I can see on top there.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
yeah.
I mean, it
So
kind
there's
of.
just some interlacing issues and stuff like that, which I've got to fix up and stuff like that. So, you know, it's pretty close on that side. You
Okay.
know, it's a little bit more advanced on the Pocket side as well. But you know, there's Atari carts. Just quit it. Well, let's load up another Jag, and of course, I don't want to show what was it, Jag. You know, I've got the
The Jaguar
the
Amiga,
wrong
yeah.
stuff at the moment.
Commodore are happy.
Yeah, yeah, Commodore were happy. As we all know, who was the main guy from Commodore? The
Oh,
Trammell. He went over to Jaguar, and this was his baby, in fact, if I
okay.
remember correctly.
So there's some truth there.
So that's the historical side.
There you go. So you purposely left the Amiga kind of stuff in the menu there,
Yeah,
yeah,
just for
because
the
of
moment.
this historical thing. Yeah, I think that's actually very, very cool of you there. Yeah. Ultra FP64 says he doesn't believe you. He says that you left it there because you're lazy.
Yeah, he will always keep on saying that.
Oh, I love how you've got another game and you've still got Mr. Snowball, Mr.
Yeah.
Snowman from the kart game. So
So we've
excellent.
got cannon fodder going on here, and yeah, in the background, because how the Pocket sort of works with interlacing images and all that. I just haven't set that all up yet. So once that's all set up, you know, that will all go away and all be line doubled and everything like that in the scaler. So yeah, so that's all that side working.
So
And
what's the sound? What's the sound like on the Pocket? Because obviously we
hang on,
can't hear it, but it doesn't mean there's no sound there.
hang
Is
on.
the sound okay, or no?
I'm
We
going by
can't.
the mic.
Okay,
Can you sort of hear it? Or-
not really. No, it's not
So
coming through.
I've just got a mic and all of that, and I'm playing it on dock mode.
I'm hoping to hear, war. Never been so much fun. War. Let's see.
Because that's the Atari Sega version, isn't it? No, the Amiga CD version, isn't it?
Okay. Good soundtrack.
I don't know.
Okay, Ultra FP64 is now starting on me. He says my singing sucks. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Your mic's not picking up any of the sound. If it is near,
It's not.
no, it's not picking up anything.
Not the noise cancelling.
Maybe. It does a really good job, to be
Because I'm
honest.
literally playing from the Pocket itself.
Okay.
But anyway, let's
Would you want to go back
so
on? I mean,
you
if
can
you
sort of see it. Yeah, let's go back on this side. At least then we can all sort of see it. And we can
perfect.
start playing a few of them. So what we got next? Well, let's do Cannon Fodder because I've always enjoyed playing that.
Cannon Fodder's a good game, man. But do you know what? I was playing. What version was I playing the other day? I can't remember. I was doing a stream and
Is
I
that
played
your
it.
mouse on the screen there, or?
Is that my mouse?
Oh, it's because I can see
No,
your
no.
screen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
Okay. I don't know what I've given you like the full screen, haven't I? So you should be seeing the Analogue Pocket menu. I think that's what you should be seeing. Hopefully,
Well,
gets a bit
right now I'm
confusing.
on the MiSTer side again.
Oh, okay. No,
But
I'm
yeah,
talking my screen that you should be seeing is the Unlock Pocket screen. Unless I don't know, it gets confusing, man. There's a lot of screens and a lot of
yeah.
stuff happening, so I forget what's what. I know I started it right, and I can see what the guys at home are seeing, so that looks all right. Which is you playing Cannon Fodder. So, guys, just to let you know, the reason we haven't got sound. Do you know what might be an idea as well? I've got the
You want
version
to
of the core you sent me.
check on?
Let me. No, it's cool. Let me plug the MiSTer in, and hopefully it won't crash. It won't crash. Won't crash out. Sometimes when you swap sources, it can be a little bit funny. But okay, I've got it here. Let me have a quick look to see if it has come up. Oh, wicked! Yeah, my MiSTer's come up, so I can.
I should have sent you the updated one of the
No, you did. You sent me.
MiSTer core.
You sent me the MiSTer core about 20 minutes before the stream. I said you send it to me, so I did
Nice.
put that on. Also, thanks for changing the directory back to like the default name. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, it's not working. Then I was like, what? Maybe he's named it different. So you took ownership of the directory, guys. This is why Ultra FP64 gets upset with him. He changed the Jaguar directory name from Jaguar to Jaguar_Mazar.
Yeah, just to annoy some people.
Oh, cool. Right. Okay. So what we can do is after you do this one, what I'll do is I will I'll run the core and I'll run Cannon Fodder so people can actually hear the sound and see it at running at the full 60 FPS hopefully.
Yeah.
So I think
The one thing I haven't worked out is what we can do next is, of course, the Jaguar has the most weirdest controller ever of literally having a phone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a phone. What do you call it? Dial pad on it.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do about that?
So how are you able to get a controller like that working on there, or is it just too many buttons for a controller?
Well, I'm pretty sure, like for the MiSTer side, you can get snap controllers for it. I don't know if they have come out with it, but you know, of course, everyone will start wanting to play Tempest. In fact, there'll be a game that you'll need to chuck on here.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that here.
Soundtrack.
That gets mentioned. Let me have a look at some of the chats. So Chris Mullin here is saying, what's he saying? Okay, so please comment on how difficult back engineering on OG hardware is. As an engineer, the journey of these devs from start to core completion is monumental. I am in awe of this process and these devs.
Yeah, it's oh gosh, I'm also copying some more stuff over.
That's all right. Let me run it on my side.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to my screen a sec.
Starting from scratch. Yeah,
I'm gonna
check it over.
No, can't. You chat. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna load Cannon Fodder so people can hear that glorious sound.
Indeed. So yeah, starting from scratch. Yeah, it's sort of a bit hard to sort of explain because you've got to start from a template of everything. So where do you start on things? Do you start from the input-output side of things? Do you start with the CPU, or what do you go from? So usually I start from reading all the documentation on how the core sort of work. A lot of the brew side of, homebrew side of things is very good knowledge on what sort of goes on internally. You can read a few emulators and how they sort of done some stuff. But yeah, from there, it's getting the board out. For some of the projects I've done, I've literally ripped chips off to check everything. How does it all work? And go from there. Does anything come up on your screen?
Yeah, I've got Cannon Fodder up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should be able to see it. Yeah, there was a little bit of a pause there. What else is there? Oh, so Alan's asking a question here. So right now, I'm running
Yeah.
the single RAM version. I've got my CRT on and connected as well, so I'm not getting an image of the core. So will you be able to get? So Alan's actually asking, have you included the DV code for CRTs, the digital video code that or the direct video code for CRTs? But because this is single SD RAM, will we be able to get output via VGA to whatever CRT we're using?
So that's for the MiSTer side. I'll have to check with Grey Rogue, because
Okay.
I've literally sent him the code. Well, I haven't sent him in yet because I literally got the single RAM working to the single clock that is needed for these games to run exactly cycle accurate as such. So I'll ask him how you sort of do all of that. So I'll send that through to him. Literally today he updated his repo, which he's added EPROM saving and a bit of slight improvement on the dual SD RAM. But as I said, I'm going to send him this stuff, and he should be able to run from there, having single RAM and get all the video side working.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that answers your question. I'll put the sound up a little bit higher so you guys can hear it here. But obviously, we've seen the dual RAM version that's around, so I imagine the sound's going to be identical or very, very similar at the very least. But yeah, here we are rocking with Cannon Fodder. And I noticed on the screen there, it said error in the top left and top right. I don't remember seeing that in the other one. Is that? I don't know what that is.
I think that's something, because we've got the weird timing issue and stuff like that in the core itself. I don't know if that happens in the dual memory one. I'll have to ask.
I don't remember seeing it there, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
You know, Cannon Fodder would have been a game I would have tried, but I'm going by memory here, and everyone knows that, you know, my memory cannot be relied on. I've got like a Spectrum 48K memory damage with water damaged 48K is my brain.
Yeah.
So.
What's the next one?
Okay,
most console systems don't even have schematics available. How do you even start the journey? That's essentially what well, that was answered sort of before, but just to give an example, I've already got a couple of arcade boards recently. The biggest board I've got, which has no schematics for, is what one is it? The Sega System 2, if I remember correctly. So that's the infamous board that does Daytona.
Okay.
So I'm going through that at the moment and doing up the schematics for it. And yeah, I want to hand that over to everyone, but I've only got 3 of the 5 boards at the moment. So, you know, that's going to be interesting to have out there shortly.
Okay. That'll be okay. So you did ask me to try AVP, and even though it booted for you on my one here, and this is something that happened with the dual SD RAM version as well. I think one of either Ash's version or Kitrinx's version worked for me. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Kitrinx's version that got AVP working for me.
It's all compiling. Well, I don't know if the 3 of us, but I know between me and Grey Rogue, we've both been having problems with compiling it. I haven't had so much now with the Pocket, but the Pocket has a bit of another issue in it which stops AVP running. But what I'll do, I've got another one here for you, mate. Just if you get, do you want me to go on your screen? Yeah, this compiled.
Oh, have you sent me another?
No, I'll send you. No, I'm going to send you another copy. Just
do you know what it is?
This is the one.
It's going to be a bit hard to do. I've got my MiSTer set up via network.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, I might have to do it after the stream. The reason is because I'm using the web browser windows. If I start closing it, it might mess up what I'm showing there, and other stuff might show up. So I'm not going to chance that yet, but definitely show the newer version.
Chuck it on my side, and I can bring it back up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are we going for?
Let me give it a reboot, and let me bring your screen back up now. Okay, so you're in command now. So we've got your screen.
Yeah. So we bring up AVP.
Cool.
Yeah. They've got the original sort of stuff in there. See, turbo. Haven't seen the aspect ratio. That'd be nicer.
Okay, have you made it? I always like the original aspect ratio. I hate seeing stuff squished. Is this going to be all squished now? But it's up to you. You can run it that way. You know,
Does it? Yeah.
does it make it? Well, the thing is, it doesn't make everyone like tall or anything. It just makes it wider. Therefore, it makes everything a bit more squishy. We get some more people coming in. We've guys, if you're just tuning in, so the mystery guest he's no longer a mystery. We have Mazamars. We also have his Super Persona Ultra FP64, and it's a New Year's Day stream.
Really good.
Yeah. If you're enjoying it, then hit that like button, and if you're loving it, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, we're looking at Atari Jaguar right now. What you're seeing is a single SD-RAM version, so this should make a whole bunch of people out there really happy, because at least 90% of the people that have a MiSTer actually have a single SD-RAM version because they like playing it on analog displays. Well, it looks like the Atari Jaguar core is going to be working on your single SD-RAM. It's working. It needs some fine tuning, but as you can see, it looks very good, even in the state it is. So, Mazamars, anything else you want to talk about or add? Or I remember you saying you wanted to show some of your kind of development process or coding. So anytime you want, feel free, and you can run people through give them a little bit of an insight into that.
Indeed. So, Alan, I'll answer Alan D's question. Am I still working on the Star Wars Vector Core? Yeah, I still want to get that one done. The last thing to do is literally the frame buffer side of it. The CPU board is done. That's all working. I've actually compared it to like a real board. The vector side, it's funny, the name of the actual video processor in it is called the AVG core in it. So I keep on thinking angry video game nerd every time I, pull it out and start looking at it. But, that's all done in terms of how it works, and, I validated it and stuff like that. And the soundboard works 100% on it. So, everything's all ready to go. It's just that last final piece. And as I said, about a year ago, had a lot of personal sort of stuff that sort of came aboard and caused me issues. So I know there's two around here. There we go.
Nice.
Sorry. You always got to shoot them and get rid of them first. So yeah, the soundboard 100% works. I think I actually sent you a copy of that a long time ago.
You did, yeah.
Should see if we can pull it up, because the good thing about the soundboard of the Star Wars core is that you can actually test it, and you can listen to all of the music. You can listen to all of the voices and stuff like that. And that's just the testing side of it.
I'm gonna see if I've still got it. I'm gonna swap my I've just disconnected my the MiSTer from the capture card, and I've plugged in the Pocket, and hopefully I'll get a display. And I want to see if I've still got that, because you did send that to me a while ago.
Audio, yeah.
Yeah, I hope I have got it on there. I know at one time one of my memory cards just crashed, and I had to redo the whole thing. So there's every bit of chance that I don't actually have it. Right, why is my Analogue Pocket not showing up? Right, you continue, entertain the people, and I'm going to try and get the Pocket working, hopefully.
I forgot how bad this is controlling wise. And I know two are going to come through here. And
so you actually had the Jaguar, yeah? You seem to know this game, because obviously when I was playing it, I was clueless.
Yeah, so I do have a real Jaguar with the CD side of it. So it's going to be interesting when this all starts getting going, because we'll try and get the CD side working as well. But what was it? The best thing I actually purchased for that was what's the device called again? It's called the game drive. Because essentially, it's an EverDrive for you. I hate this. Literally got all three right in the door. And anyway, it's sort of an EverDrive for the Jag, and had one of them, and those were always good to sort of have. Just want to get some health. I'm trying to remember where the med pack is. When am I releasing this? I think I'll do it. I'll talk to Gray first for the MiSTer side. The Pocket, I've got a lot more work to do because there's still some timing issues with it, and then I'll release it so people can then use it. But now I can do a lot more development because there's a lot of good stuff.
Okay, so I am back in the Pocket. Let's see if I've got Star Wars. I wonder where it will be.
All right. Gotta get past all three. Come on, come on, come on. Ah! Knew that was going to happen.
No, dude, you know what? Really sorry. I don't. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me check my other Pocket. Maybe it's on a different micro SD card. I was getting worried there. There's an Analogue Pocket I haven't turned on for like 6 months, but no, it's powered on.
And you'll plug it in, and then it'll suddenly say, "Oh, you need to update it." No,
I don't even know if this one's updated. Let's have a look. No.
All right, medkit. I'll save that one because usually there's a few around here.
Well, what did you call it? It was just called Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was called Star Wars. It should be on the Discord.
Okay. Let me. Actually, no, I can't even. Okay. Oh, you might actually know. We haven't got the sound there. All right, that we'll have to save that one for another day. I haven't got that one here, so. But it was interesting because when you sent it to me, I do remember messing about with it, and I do remember just playing the sounds and listening to them and thinking like, okay, this is pretty cool, for someone that likes Star Wars. My Pocket is making Star Wars sounds now. Okay, I've received. What I can do is I can check stuff on my phone because that won't. So guys,
Get out of it. Get out of it.
Let's have a look. What we got?
I forgot how horrible this was for controlling.
I'll tell you what, there it looks good. Watching the game, it looks good. I'm definitely having fun as a spectator. Well, let's have a look. Okay.
Oh, there's another one, isn't there? There's another one.
Okay.
No, I'm talking to myself. Oh, God, it goes through the acid.
That's all right. Everyone else is listening. You're all good.
Thank God I saved that health pack.
So you're getting into it. Do you wanna show someone something else? Or are we going to turn this into a Mazza completes AVP on stream?
Yeah, AVP. Yeah. What else have we got?
You can run whatever you like, man. I mean, if anyone
actually
gone.
Yeah, I was just going to say this is the classic Doom where all the consoles out there based it off the Jaguar maps and everything.
Okay.
So.
That's interesting. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go have lunch after. It's nice having a day off in the middle of the week. We need more bank holidays.
Is it just New Year's though? Is considered a bank holiday? Or?
Yeah, it's a bank holiday. It's a bank holiday in the UK. So I got a day off. I was super happy. What else? I think the next bank holidays are like March or April for Easter. That's the next ones. But we get a nice bunch there. We get like a Friday and a Monday. It's nice being away from shift work now and being on a Monday to Friday. It just means like every bank holiday I have, and in some ways I just can't ever escape my kids. Whenever they're off, I am off, apart from obviously the school holidays, but all the bank holidays. So, there were certain times where it was like you had a little bit of time to yourself, but that's completely gone now.
Yeah. Jeez, I didn't realize how fast this game actually ran.
It looks good.
I hope it's just me.
No, it looks fine. It looks fine. I don't. Yeah, no. I remember the walking speed, whatever, or the running in this case was fairly fast. Let me have a look at some of the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, so Chris Brooks has been testing the single RAM version. Also, it's been quite good so far. A few audio issues and graphic glitches, but about 60 to 70% done. I ran worked great. Okay, cool. Can you explain? So Chris Brooks has been testing this core as well. Is this a friend of yours, Maz? Chris Brooks?
Well, no, I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, forgot.
Or is this something that maybe you gave to Grey Rogue and some of Grey Rogue's?
Yeah, Grey might have done something there. And like I said, him and I have been chatting quite a bit as well. So it's been good on there.
So I'm going to answer.
Sort of doing it.
No, go on.
Yeah, it's been good to sort of chatting to him and stuff like that. But yeah, look, the single core, I think both the single and the double core both have graphical issues just because there's something on with the timing, and once they get resetted, we haven't sort of worked it out, but every time we compile it, both of us, in fact, we get different results and all of that. So I suspect because there's a timing thing or something there, we're just trying to work it out.
Okay. Dopefish is asking, does it have sound? Just to kind of point out, it does have sound.
Yes, it does.
It's just through the stream that we're getting, we couldn't get the sound to come via Discord. It might be just user error on my or Mazamars' part. We're not really experts in Discord streaming, so just to say we're winging it.
Yeah, I mean, if only we could get OBS to work correctly.
The thing is, it's weird because your OBS will be on your side, but you can only share a screen with me. So the screen I am sharing with you is my OBS screen just expanded. So I've got two windows open for OBS. I'm not looking at the one you're looking at. I'm looking at my kind of dashboard, and you're looking at the stream screen that the viewers are seeing. So when you're on, you'll see that and that. So yeah, so this was more of a New Year's Day stream. Me and Mazza, we talk a lot. He's a good guy, and he's been very helpful since I've been covering FPGA gaming. And I've been in some limited capacity helping kind of test stuff as well, and which he appreciates because I give him the end user layman's term, whereas in this circle everyone's a developer and they talk technical, and I'm like the dumbest guy in the room. But yes, but we've been testing stuff in a New Year's stream because Maz has got this working on single SD RAM, which will bring joy to a lot of people, because a lot of people, even me, when I had a choice, when I first bought a MiSTer and I was told, do I want a dual RAM setup or a single SD RAM setup? I went single SD. I didn't even have a CRT handy at the time, but I knew I wanted the option there. So that's cool. Also, Maz has got it working to some capacity on the Pocket, but that's not as far along as obviously the MiSTer core. Sorry, Maz, you're going to say something?
Well, no, it's essentially, like I said, I usually try and chuck stuff out your way just to see what happens for the first time user. Like everyone goes, oh man, you must have a lot of people behind me. I'm like, no. It's literally, I asked a couple of mates just to test some stuff. Like all of the PC Engine CD stuff was a huge big testing thing way back then.
Yeah, that's amazing to get that on. While we're on like CD kind of systems, a lot of people always ask about the Mega CD, and it's usually for one game. It's usually for Snatcher. People really want to play like Snatcher on their Pockets. What do you think the chances are of getting a core like that? Is that something that you would consider taking on in the future?
100%. Like, definitely, because I want to play Snatcher too. The other one is Sonic CD. I know everyone sort of gripes it a little bit, but I always enjoyed playing it. On that side. Did I grab the blue key?
Do you know?
No, I've got the red key. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think which keys I've got again. So yeah, Sega CD, 100%. I think it's very much doable in the Pocket. It's just getting the resources in the right spot. So it does work. So there's quite a few little steps we've got to take I think it's who was it that did it again? SRG, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm not
The
even
guy
sure. It might. SRG's done a
who
whole
did
bunch of cores. I
the
can't.
Saturn?
The Saturn was SRG 320.
Yeah. So I'm sure it was him that did that one, and he got the Genesis core from someone. So
Okay, I think was
he
it
was running that
Eric
through.
Lewis that done the Genesis core. I think Eric Lewis done the Genesis core, but since then we had Nuki KT who kind of done a lot of reverse engineering work, went through like all the
Yeah.
Mega Drive chips, decapped them, and Sorge ported that version over, or he ported it as an FPGA core over to the MiSTer, and that actually superseded, that's replaced the Genesis core, which to be honest I'm happy about, because now like you don't have a folder called Genesis, you have to put it in a folder called Mega Drive. And in my region it was Mega Drive, man. Genesis just
Yeah, and that's how it should be called.
absolutely. Shall we, you know what, I'm going to swap over to my screen a sec. Feel free to keep playing this and
Go
chatting for
it.
a sec. What we'll do is we'll have a look at one of the other
Actually, let's
cores.
see if this one works.
So what we'll do, sorry, I just thought just in case it was in Vectrex, but it's not. So let's go into Amiga, because now when I run Amiga like on the MiSTer and I'm using OBS, the equipment I've got for some reason crashes it, and I think that might just be because sometimes it goes between 50 and 60 hertz, and OBS doesn't like it; it just freezes out. However, on the Pocket, I think everything just runs at 60 hertz, so whatever you've got, it doesn't crash. It's never crashed on me once on the Analogue Pocket. So whenever I do like Amiga stuff, especially if I'm doing a stream, because I'm doing a video, it crashes, no problem. I'll just relaunch it and go through it again. But on a stream, I definitely prefer the Analogue Pocket because it's consistent. There's no crashes. So, guys, this is something. So, who was the original developer of this? Was this done early on the MIST days, and then it was kind of ported to the MiSTer, and then you ported this over to the Analogue Pocket? Am I correct in saying that?
Cool. Yeah, I think that's how the flow sort of went. I definitely know it was on the MIST, which was sort of a hybrid of both real hardware. So they used the real CPU, the 68 CPU, and then they used the FPGA to do all of the custom chips in it.
Okay.
And then there was the original, I call it the MIST project, which was the Amiga side. Then there was the MIST, which then I think they built it a little bit more by having a bit more of a bigger FPGA, and then they had the CPU in there and things like that.
Nice. What I really like is the collaboration between yourselves and Amiga Vision, which has given us this here. Now, what I love about this is Amiga's one of those computers that I loved, but I forgot a lot of the games that were on here. And I just like the fact you've got Hall of Fame, you've got charts, and I sing praise to this every time. I was speaking to one of the main guys behind that ITX Llama, and he's like, look, do you want to get hold of one? And I said to him, look, when you get something close to this or something that's idiot proof, I'm definitely interested in it. It's just for now, I don't want to go through the process of trying to figure everything out. It's going to be a bit more time consuming. So I'm really hoping that the ITX Llama gets something like that for those Windows 98 and DOS games, because this is just wicked. It's wicked. And you know what I need to try as well, Maz, is you implemented this, didn't you? The modem or serial link. So guys, if you've got so if you've got two pockets, you can actually link up with all these games here. So you run this, and does it use the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance cable? I think it was a Game Boy Color cable, wasn't it? Or
Game Boy Color, yeah. There's a bit of signaling difference between the Amiga ones. So I hate when my Pocket does this. Sorry, my Pocket decided to do something weird.
Yeah.
The Amiga uses the Game Boy Color or standard Game Boy. Why is it not finding my SD card? Yeah, this is the standard Game Boy link cable, and then from there, there was a sort of a novelty that I didn't expect to sort of get going, but I chucked it on there and just as a laugh, because I've got 3 pockets myself, and I went, I want to play some serial games over this. This will be a nice little laugh. And when I first got the floppy drive stuff all working, that was just it it was a laugh just seeing all of that working from there.
No, that's great. It's something I need to try. Someone over on Twitter, I think it's account Selena the Retro Princess. She posted a picture of 2 pockets saying, "Look, I finally got around to doing it." So I kind of replied saying, "Well done. Like I've been meaning to do this for ages. I haven't actually got around to it." I even took my pocket around to my friends. So my friend's got like a really good restaurant. He always invites me and the family around. So he's a big Pocket fan. We kind of met over the Analogue Pocket actually, and we've become really good friends. And I took the Pocket around there, man, but we never got a chance to get it out. I took the link cable. I was like, you know what, we're going to do some 2-player gaming. Okay, guys, what you're seeing here is R-Type. I like this because when Mazza first released the core, before we had hard drive support, we were running, was it ADFs, the discs? Oops.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the first game. So I grabbed like a bunch of games from, I think, wherever I got them from, maybe Amiga 11 or something, and I grabbed R-Type, Rainbow Islands, and a few games, and they worked really, really well. But the fact that we've got the hard drive image support is it's superb, absolutely superb. It just makes it so darn good. And what's actually, you know what, while we're on the subject of there, what do you think about CD32 support in some capacity for the Analogue Pocket? Is that a yay or a nay or a maybe?
I think it's a maybe. It's me getting time on doing it. Like CD already works with the PC engine. There's some tidy up that I need to do on that. Like before I carry on doing anything with it, I would be doing a lot more rectification of the code and all of that for it. So it's just more streamlined for anyone else to sort of pick up and use the framework. Because that's the one big thing I always found is like no one's sort of doing any other CD stuff because no one sort of is wanting to do it because it's a pain with using my core. And I just want to make it something a bit more simple on that. And just be easy to bring over from like the MiSTer side over to it. So, you know, it should be doable.
Okay, sorry, let me just answer for Dopefish. So Dopefish, what it is, you're going to get sound whenever it's on my screen. So currently it's on my screen and I'm running my Analogue Pocket. It's connected to OBS. But whenever Mazamars shares his screen, we won't have the sound of music. We won't have the sound of the game that he's showing. So whenever there's sound, I guess it's a good cue. Use it as a cue. Whenever it's got sound, it's my screen. And whenever it doesn't have sound, it's Mazamars' screen. So if anyone asks in chat, feel free to just kind of run that to them. Right, I'll do Rainbow Islands, Maz. Do you want? I don't know what do you want to have a look at next. You want to have a look at some of your existing cores, or you want to play more Jaguar? Completely up to you. Or do you want to go into and bring up your kind of workflow and how you do stuff?
I don't even know where to start with all my workflow and things.
To be honest, it was your idea. Yeah, I'm just going to say it was your idea. It wasn't a suggestion from me. It was your suggestion. So. I
can bring it. In fact, let's let
me just bring in here. Ultra FP 64 says, "Don't back out now, sucker."
Get him out. Yeah. He'll complain saying that it's me. Well, not me doing it.
He says the reason you can't show it is because you're not the real developer. You've got a ghost developer behind you.
Indeed.
Who you pay like in peanuts.
Some random loudmouth, horrible, snotty person.
Wicked. That kind of describes my CV. I'm surprised I ever get a job.
Let me just pull up something because I know everyone's been asking for this one, so I'm going to start off with this thing and try to just share part of my.
Yeah, do you want me to go back to your screen? Let me know when. So you can choose. You can choose what window. You know when you go to share window, and you can choose a specific window to share.
I've got a huge screen though. It's just so. First thing to do, get yourself the biggest screen you can, and it's much easier for you to develop on.
Shall I go to your screen, by the way, or?
Yeah, I'll just chuck mine up. So I've got live there.
Right. Let me get out of this.
Let's start off with this one.
Okay, so let's go
where I first start off with.
Here we go. That's Mazza's screen, and so now we're not going to have sound scene. That's Mazza's screen, and that's flashback, right? Is that flashback? Yeah, it's flashback.
Yeah, that's flashback. But I've shared hold on. I've shared my screen there, the one that says Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Let me
if
Let me
you're able
go
to
over
grab
to
it.
it. No, I should be able to. Should be able to. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, so let me go back out. And okay. Okay. Star Wars. Cool. Just gonna go to this stream now. And hopefully it come. Okay, excellent. That's come up. Let me kind of go back to my OBS window. Okay, yep, that's cool. You're on screen now showing Star
Cool.
Wars. Perfect.
So here's the infamous Star Wars vector core. And of course, this is the first thing that you start off with. You just read off. Well, first off, you got to have a passion for the game. So, a bit of history. I remember playing this game when I was in the States. When was it? In the year 2000. So, before the September 11 attacks. And I was went to Disneyland. And I saw this. And it was the first time I ever saw this game. And ever since then, I've always wanted to play it again and never been able to. So I literally, when I started building this, the first thing I started looking at, okay, there's all the testing stuff. How does it work? But when I got down, where was it in this document? First off, we find out what's in it. And we find out there's a main board. All right, what's on it? We got a microprocessor. All right, well, that's not much there, but there's a whole heap of registers, and this one was actually kind of interesting because I actually designed all of this in a lot of logic to keep to exactly to what it was. So where do we find all the stuff? This one was the good one because it has then a schematic. When I find it, so the next thing I started to do was actually replicating a lot of the logic here. Now this is all the power side, but we've got a memory map, and of course that was the first thing I started designing up. So this was on the main PCB, which is the CPU board, the sound board, which also has its own chip on there, and this schematic was actually really good because it actually tells you which sheet to look at. So the first one I wanted to look at was the main PCB. Start off with the power side and the reset interrupt. You've got a program side of things. You've got some address decoders, which that's very easy to implement. Divider. Now, this was very interesting to develop, and same with the matrix processor. These essentially, they were all done in, if anyone has an electronic background, they were all done in 74HC logic on all of these, and they were timed and things like that, just so they could get the mathematics of everything all done. And there's a pseudo random generator as well, and an analog digital converter. So, I literally went through all of this step by step and designed each bit of logic on it. So we found out what the CPU was, and if we zoom in a little bit there, there's a 6809 CPU. So built one of those up, and you, luckily enough, with FPGA, you don't have to do any of the sort of the latching side of things because you can time it. But build up the clock side. This is kind of interesting, the whole clock, because it runs at a really weird clock rate. And then there's a watchdog on it. This watchdog actually resets the CPU every, I think it's like, it has a possibility of 64 times per second that it can reset itself. So the CPU actually has to reset that every time. Then there's an interrupt timer for the actual frame rate, which was something like 15 frames per second. Of course, your ROM and your RAM. Then you got the decoders, and yeah, it just for the Analogue Pocket, which I've got most of it on there. So now I've got to actually change my screen. Change window. I've got to make sure I find the right one. And Don't worry, I'm just trying to find how to change my.
All good, man.
Screen.
I'm using this time to clip my toenails, so I'm definitely making use of the time.
Oh, this should be on video. Ugh.
I used to be a foot model. I used to be a foot model. It's better than my face.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I might just stop the stream and just bring it back to another screen. Just hold on one sec.
Yeah, cool. Let me know. I'll have to change the screen over. Let me go. I feel like oops.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wait. Come on. Hello.
Okay. Oh no, actually not. I need to go here. Okay, we've got. Have you brought the other screen up?
I'm just waiting for it to actually
Cool.
allow me to do it.
Okay. We're looking at 4 screens at the moment. We're seeing flashback spinning around at the same time.
It's not letting me open up another screen. Is there something else?
Close one down then, maybe. Maybe close.
No. When I go share screen on Discord, it's just holding there.
Okay.
I might be able to.
I know sometimes that when I was kind of messing about with it yesterday, it was when I was trying to share screen, it was like something new detected. Do you want to swap the sound source? And when it would swap the sound over to Discord, it just meant it wasn't going through OBS. So
yeah,
actually, I did a dry run yesterday with a friend of mine, which was all right. And then we ended up playing Samurai Showdown, the 2019 version. So if any of you guys out there want to play Sam Show, hit me up.
I might be able to.
You can play it. Go on.
See if I can do it some other way. Display capture, add.
Whoop-a-hoo.
No, don't worry about
we've got that infinite screen. Do you know what I might do? While you sort that out, let me put on my screen.
Yeah.
And let me go to... Okay, I'm on my screen. Let me turn off your screen. Just let me know whenever you're back. I'm on my Analogue Pocket. What we'll do is we kind of started with the PC Engine course. So let's go into Neo Geo because I do like Neo Geo a lot. By the time a Neo Geo game loads though, actually one question here, how come the Neo Geo games take a lot longer to load on the Pocket than the MiSTer?
So the main reason why is the Analogue Pocket, it only has a very small processor in it. So it's not actually the core that's the issue. And I'm not going to go, hey, it's all this one's fault. It's literally that they have a little, it's essentially a PIC 32, which is quite small, but it's doing a lot. So it's doing things like all the scaling side, it's doing all the pre-calculations for that. It's doing SD card stuff and a whole heap of other things in the background. But the max data rate that can be transferred from what we're going to call the analog side to the core itself is something like 700 kilobits per second. So I actually used that quite a bit in my advantage way back in the day to do the what was it called? To do the CD side. And, we were able to burst quite a bit of traffic through and stuff like that through it. But when you have the ROMs, which are, if I remember correctly, how big's a Neo Geo game? Something like 12 megs for the program, then it's another. Some games are about 32, but the largest ones are about 64 megabytes for the color RAM.
That was big back then, though. That was big.
Yeah, and then the sound, some of them are up to 16 megs. So, it's quite a lot of data there, really. So, try that again. No. I cannot screen share.
No? All right. Well, I'll play some Shock Troopers in the meantime, but I don't know why, Scan, it was working for you. So it's a window you've got on your PC, yeah? So you can... Are you trying to share your whole screen, or are you trying to do a window at a time? Because the window at a time...
Yeah, just a window.
Yeah, okay. You can try and do the whole screen share, but then everything on your screen will be visible. It just might be stretched out very, very long with borders at the top. So
yeah, so let me get it ready just so we can get it going.
Yeah, let me know, man. In the meantime, Blondie here will We'll do some firing, man. I really like these games, man. Shock Troopers 1 and 2. Good soundtrack as well.
The map here. Oh, grabbed the wrong screen. There. I'm literally resizing that, so it looks like it's inside my window there.
That's all good, man.
Move that out of the way. There we go. There we go.
You ready?
Yeah, so I've got
Yeah.
orders up here next.
Okay, let's have a look at the Mazza screen. Okay, cool. Let me run with that. Okay, we are. Here we go. We are on that screen, and in the meantime, let me go back to my. Okay, perfect. So we've got that on there.
Yeah, Tim. So the next stage was essentially I started from a template for the Analogue Pocket, and it's the same with MiSTer as well. You know, they've got their templates, and then from there we start building it all out. So first thing I started to do was build up some command stuff for sending out some stuff for the testing and all of that. Actually, I'm reading a lot of this right now. I've got to double check that. And then, you know, go through, I try and document as much as I can on stuff like where memory locations are and stuff like that. There's the ALU, which was already there. But luckily enough, I've got this already pre-compiled. I should be able to run this.
Which are we looking at? Is this the Star Wars core we're still looking at, right?
Yeah, so this is the Star Wars core. Thought this will be a good one to sort of build out. And usually I always start looking at the logic side of things because, you know, I do a lot of stuff visually and stuff. And yeah, there's the sound side.
So what kind of,
I'm just looking at this.
like, what kind of PC spec do you need? Is this something you would require to use like GPU resources for? Is it CPU heavy? What's like?
So CPU and RAM heavy, and the biggest thing that I've been finding is single-threaded CPUs. So if you have a decent single-thread processor, you know, that will always get you through in a pinch. Task Manager. Pretty sure when I brought this one way back in the day, what did I get again? Let's go CPU. Ding, 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 ding. I can hear the fans whirring right now because I'm doing a compile. You know, what have I got? Just to show an i9 10900. I think I purchased this computer how many years ago now? 4 years ago now. So I'm due for an upgrade. But compiling just this, just the Jaguar core for the Pocket right now takes me about 6 or 7 minutes to compile. However, on the MiSTer it takes about 10 because I've got all this scaling stuff and all of that in there. So usually while I'm compiling one, I'm compiling another at the same time and things like that. But yeah, I'll just go through all this. But yeah, built up a lot of the core for, so this is all the sound side. So built up the CPU, got the sound chips in there. And like I said, this is all open source for everyone to have and play. And as I said, the sound board on the Star Wars core, you can actually run the tests on it. If I remember correctly, all you have to do is feed it a clock and get the self-test running. I think there's one other thing as well. Got everything ready there just to wire up to send traffic over it. But yeah, that's essentially starting on that side of things. You start building the code out from there. So put your CPU on, put your RAM on, start testing it. The other thing I also have been starting to do is a lot of simulations as well, so you can see what's going on. our good friend Electron Ash has sent me a whole heap of stuff for um, virtualizing a lot of the core. In fact, one thing I might be able to show here. Let's see if I can find it. Where did I put that simulation?
I'm running Neo Geo games in the background, which I remember
Yeah,
King of Fighters 98 had like a good title screen soundtrack. So I'm just trying to get something. So we've got a little bit of soundtrack in the background.
yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, just
Debug.
we could always
I'm
just
just trying to find.
uh,
Just trying to find this somewhat decent project that our good friend Electron Ash made.
yeah, I like Cash, man, awesome guy. Big shout out to him. And yeah, he's a
Yeah,
very hardworking and helpful individual, man. Very awesome guy.
always helpful, always there for you. Um, him and I chat quite a bit on stuff when I get some time. Where did I put that infamous code?
Oh.
You know what? I'll see if I can compile it here. If I get this working.
So what are you doing
Because
now?
this is actually kind of a...
Are you compiling a core now?
I'll actually do a simulation, but this one is quite a nice one, which a good friend of mine gave to me, which is Ash.
Oh, okay. So you'll be simulating that core running. So we'll see the core running on your PC.
Indeed, and this is something
nice.
that Ash has been working on. He gave me a copy of it, which is really
wicked.
good of him. I just got to make sure I get the sizing right for this.
I think I'm gonna try and run the Cannon for the soundtrack while you show this stuff. So we got something really cool in the background.
I'm literally doing a build of this right now.
Nice. We've got a question here from Medici saying, question. I like that. Reminds you of Dwight from The Office. Question. What other applications are you making with FPGA? Please say synths. You can say it, but you don't have to mean it.
Yeah. What was the question?
So the question is, it's the last one. It's the last one. The bottom message in chat.
Oh, yeah. So the other one is because I was more prolific in Xilax. They actually have a very good simulation system in there. All right, here we go. Now, I got that in the screen there, don't I? So this is actually something that Ash has done, and this is using Verilator. So this is very much the simulation side. And like I said, first off, big shout out to him on this. And if I push run here, you guys might get to see what it's actually drawing. We'll get closer and closer.
Okay, just so you know, you probably can't hear it, but we have Canon for the soundtrack in the background. I do record this. I remember Ash sending me screenshots of his works with this stuff on there. It's very technical, so he'll send me stuff and I'll be like, Ash, explain it like I'm 10. Then I'll be like, explain it like I'm 5. Okay, let's try 3.5. Then I go, thank you.
Indeed. So look, very rudimentary. I think everyone sort of understands what this could be. So this is Ash's simulation of the the Dreamcast, of course, and all logic and stuff. So, he's already getting up to this point right now. How far will it go? We don't know. It's already taking up a lot of logic units just on the GPU side of things. But, we can simulate it in this, get the frame buffer out, and because it's more of a frame buffer, there's kind of a lot of stuff that I was doing recently on some other projects, but the frame buffer was quite easy for us to pull out and see exactly what it looks like. And quite a few people do this for the development side. The only issue with this is that it's very hard to keep clock cycle accurate with things. So if you've got things like you've got one clock that's 100 megahertz, another one that's 50, but two of them need to do stuff at a random time, it's sort of easy with this. But when you come into some really random clock rates, this becomes a little bit difficult, and we've had to do a couple of tricks in the background to sort of get it to work. But yeah, we started with a program like this to do the simulation. We also do something like, and as I was going back before with Silex, they have a very good simulation tool as well, running in real clock rates. Waters Model Sim was also a good one we've used, but it had a very steep learning curve around it. So yeah, that's that side of things. And then, of course, once you start building it, then you start doing signal taps, which I've got one here, actually, of today. So this is the Analogue Pocket for when I was doing the Jaguar. And of course, we were using the bit streams there. And the one big thing is I was trying very hard to get the clock rate of the RAM. So we use SD RAM in there, getting that to the point where it's exactly the same as the original, or at least having that data ready before the core needed it. So where have we got here? That's a write. Right, here's a read that we wanted. And at the current clock rates, how many clock rates are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes about 9 clock cycles for the SD RAM for it to get a signal saying, hey, we want to get this address, and it needs to be back by that time. And of course, the Atari needed it back in something like, well, actually, it was needed in 4 clock cycles, but we were able to push out the timing a bit to preempt it asking for a bit of data and have it within that time frame of that 4 clock cycles. So that was the big thing that got achieved today on the single chips for the MiSTer and also on the Pocket. So that was a huge big thing. Like, I think I only got it done something like 30 minutes before the stream started, which was a big thing then.
No, that's cool. It's always good winging it, man.
So I've got all that. That's all done. I'm going to close this because that's taking up so much CPU time on my computer. But then from all of that, we get... What are we up to on here? Ooh. I'm trying to find out why I don't have captures now.
I can see your no, I can see your Analogue Pocket screen up there, yeah?
Yeah, but funny enough, the MiSTer's not. Hello.
Let me have a look. Let me see. Let me go over. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting. Whoops.
Something's stealing all my CPU usage.
Okay. All right, what we got? I'm going to give you a pro tip here. Open up Task Manager, Control Alt Delete. Have a look at processes. There you go, man.
I'm already in there.
Thank me later. In the meantime, I'll give the guys.
I got my
You got it.
screen.
You got it. Well, let's have a look.
No, my screen captures are doing something weird.
Yeah, it does that sometimes with the swapping stuff. That's why I didn't want to put a new core or anything on in case I couldn't get back to the state. We got your Pocket back there. But even
the Pocket's still working.
When I went between the MiSTer and the Pocket, I had to get my Pocket back working. I had to like replug it,
I wonder if
unplug it. There we go. What we got? That's your MiSTer now,
Yeah,
right?
I just have it. Yeah, that's the MiSTer. So I'm going back to one
Cool.
capture card now.
Yeah, I've got a second one. I didn't set it up. I just had one, so I'm swapping the leads.
Yeah.
And that's a big thanks to Big Al there, man. So I bought the Elgato HD60 S Plus for like 180, and he found something which I think's like almost on par with it for like, how much was it, Al? Do you remember? Was it like £25 or something? Like made from Ugreen, man. But it's a good backup card.
Yeah.
So I bought a good backup one to have. I have like a travel bag, you know, with a screen and everything in there, which sometimes I stream in my kitchen. So guys, just to let you know, the soundtrack that you might be hearing, we've just put that there as something nice to hear. I do like the Canon for the soundtrack, the main kind of intro song, and even like the pre-mission sound that you're hearing now. So that's not anything to do with the games that you're seeing on screen.
So I saw the question of.
So what we're looking at now, we're looking at is this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Jaguar again, isn't it? Yeah, Jaguar.
So Towers 2, it's kind of known as. I haven't played it too much myself. I'll see if we get to see all of the graphical issues. There's a question that came up there, L&D again, which is, why does it sometimes work on some MiSTers and some not, considering it's the same build, same ROM and all of that?
Well, we had an example of that earlier.
Again,
my AVP didn't work, but your one did, so...
Correct. It's something that's in the core still. We even have it with compiles as well. One will compile correctly, the other one won't. It's something random in the core. I suspect it could be because we're using such a high... you can't remember any words. I haven't played this game, but I knew it had some graphical bugs in it. And we just found that, there's some weird stuff that was going on internally in it. So it's a core issue, not a compile or us at the moment. But, I think we're going to find it very shortly. And that's a game that you have to use all keys.
Well, actually, while we're on the subject of the Jaguar, I know a system many people like talk about, and they really, really want it. Like, don't get me wrong, I want it from a preservation standpoint. I did own the system. I liked Need for Speed Return Fire, and I mainly got it for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So the 3DO, what do you think something like that can fit on the MiSTer? Given that recently we've got Slammy's developed a CDI core, then the Jaguar cores kind of just came out of nowhere to where it started working. Do you think the 3DO is something that can be possible on the MiSTer?
Look, I've learned to never say never now with a lot of the stuff. The only factor I have with the 3DO is there's actually a special bit of RAM in it that's kind of weird. It actually does sort of like a self-copying internally and transfers. So it's sort of... and there's sort of like, I think there's like 1 meg of it too, and it does it very interesting internally from what we've seen. I don't know if he's around or still or anything. This old Fixel, I think he had an idea on how to do it all. He's done a lot of testing on it and worked on it from there. But I haven't heard much more on that.
Okay.
Sadly.
So hopefully, like you said, never say never, and hopefully someone takes Yeah, hopefully someone takes up the work, and you never know. That's the one thing about FPGA gaming. Like you said, never say never. Then all of a sudden, one day you just get a surprise that, do you know what? This has just come out of the blue. The Jaguar rework from Grey Rogue, that literally just popped out of the blue. I think someone pinged me over on the MiSTer FPGA server going, "This is out," and I was like, "Wow! Like, holy shit! Like, it's just a Tuesday." What else was there? What else? The CDI one again just came out of nowhere. So I won't be surprised if one day we just hear that.
The CDI one's going to be a very interesting one to sort of pick up on, mainly because it's actually quite simplistic, but no one's ever sort of done it. And, dare I say it, there's the old Nintendo games that we all wanted to see. Like, what was it?
I can never unsee them. Hotel Mario. Zelda's Adventure. There was another Zelda game, and you know what? I think that was a lesson for Nintendo. They let someone else use their IPs, and they thought, you know what? Never again. I think what was the one after that? I think they let there was that game Crypt of the Necromancer, and they done a Zelda version of that, but that was kind of proven to be a good game, and they wanted a Zelda skin version done of that.
The one game that I sort of would like to see come out on that is definitely, what was it called again? What's the one with the laser discs that they all sort of done? What's it called?
Laserdisc.
Yeah, Dragon's Lair.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Sorry, you talk about game or system or not system? Yeah, Dragon's Lair. Oh yes, sorry, Dragon's Lair on CDI. Those ones aren't working at the moment. At least the last time I checked it, there was something that those required that weren't available or implemented in the core yet.
Yeah.
But they like my older uncle who I always mention in streams and stuff. Like he was a really, really big fan of like the Atari, and he really liked like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, so much so that on his Atari ST he learnt every pattern, everything he needed to do to complete the game, and then he would record it on a video, and when the kids came around he would tell them, here's a cartoon to watch. So that was kind of interesting. Are you like a fan of like the Dragon's Lair games yourself, Space Ace?
Well, the one big thing is I've actually become a bit of a collector of laser discs recently, so I want to try and get my hands on one of those. And of course, another friend of mine, Dan10Z, who was trying to do the what was it? He was trying to do the whole FPGA version of Dragon's Lair on the MiSTer.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's something interesting that I think everyone would love to sort of pop up and go from there. But yeah, that'll be a good one to sort of have shortly.
Oh wow, is he still working on that, or is that like an abandoned project?
It's an abandoned project at the moment, just because I think he's working on a few things himself. But, it'll be good to sort of see pop out if it does.
Wicked, yeah. And so what would that be? That won't be will that be like the arcade version of Dragon's Lair?
Yes, the arcade.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the arcade version.
Yeah, that was, I mean, it looked great, didn't it? But it was just a quick time event game where you had to just learn what input to press at what time to get through the game.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So the MPEG digital video cartridge is missing from the CDI.
Okay.
Which is fair enough.
And is that hopefully that's something that can get implemented, because like I have no love for the CDI. It's not something I played, but it was interesting to check out. When I checked it out, I was like, okay, this is an interesting system. But every system you find out has its fans. There's people that maybe when they were young they had the CDI and that was like their main system, so they would absolutely love it. But for checking this stuff out and doing streams, it's very, very entertaining, no matter how good or bad the system is.
Correct. I'm just wondering what's next on here.
Oh, wicked.
I think a lot of people sort of play this, but I think the bigger game on all of this. So, have you loaded up Tempest yet, or?
No, we
that'll be a
haven't. We
good game
haven't.
to-
Let me. Shall I? Okay, let me connect my MiSTer back in
Yeah.
because we are currently in Analogue Pocket land. So that's the sound that's just gone. Okay, and with any
I was
joy,
just thinking if you get that, the what's it called?
yeah, we'll get. Let me get that back on. You hear the sound. Hopefully, let me have a quick look just to make sure. Let me put you. Oh, wicked nice. It's come on. Sometimes it can be funny when you're swapping sources, but let's go. I really tried liking this Zool game on the Amiga. I remember when it came out, it was like we've got Zool for the Amiga. You know, it's like Amiga's version of, I don't know, Sonic and Mario, like their platformer game, but it just didn't have that. It just didn't have that finesse that stuff like Mario and Sonic have.
Yeah.
Right, let's go
It was
Tempest.
something, wasn't it sort of if I remember correctly, it was sort of like a promotional game.
Right, so I'm just turning your screen off a sec, and I'm just going to go to my one for
Yeah.
Tempest.
Because of course, Tempest is you got to play the soundtrack on that.
Yeah, no, I've got the sound. I've got the sound on now. Now I suck at this game. I really like this game. I think I used to play a version of Tempest on my Atari 800, possibly. Absolutely loved the game. It was like my favorite game for a long period of time. But in this one, I get very confused because it's rotatory controller. Sometimes right is right, but when you're at a certain part of the circle, right is then left, and my brain is just confused, man. It gets very, very confused. So I think someone I used to call him Isawaddle, but his initials are LSD, LS Dowdle or someone. And he was like, you completely like played that badly. And I was like, yep, absolutely. So we're in it for the soundtrack, guys. Let me put it up a little bit. So it might be up quite a bit in kind of proportion. Let me put because this game apparently has a banging soundtrack. What is Ryan saying? Wicked. Chris Mullen, maybe we'll get the Tap Wave Zodiac core. I don't even know what that is, man. Right, okay, so what are we doing? We're doing...
I'm waiting for the Polygamous core.
Oh, which one should I do? Traditional, Tempest plus 2000 or 2000? Which is the one? 2000? Which I'm thinking
2000.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, what core did you say you were waiting for?
The Polybus is a complete... yeah. Don't worry about it. It's a joke.
Cool. All right. No worries.
Joke
Man.
system.
I should have got the GIF where Superman's flying and it's like joke just went above my head. Okay. No. Let's go with the original circle. Yeah. Let's go circle, man. Don't want to complicate things here. Maybe a line would have been simpler.
Okay.
Palm PC based handheld. Ryan is saying. Oh, what's the fire button, man? Let's work out what the fire button is. Ah, here we go.
I'm just opening up another. I just want to listen to the stream so I can hear the soundtrack because I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, just be careful, but you might want to mute your mic because if it, I know, but mind you, your noise suppression was working really well. Even when you were trying to play the sound, it wasn't coming on, so it should be all right. If it does interfere with you guys out there, just let us know, and we'll get Maz to mute his mic while he's listening. Caught you, it caught me. So this one, anytime like the Jaguar is mentioned, this is a game that people really mention. A lot of people say that this is a game, this is a system seller of a game. That's how much love this game has, you know?
I think it actually came with the console.
Was it? Ah, okay, cool, interesting. Ooh, okay, I tried dodging that. Shot you. Okay, game over, man. Game over. Guys, if you're late on the stream, we're looking at a single SD-RAM version of the Atari Jaguar. Special guest is a developer called Mazamars. We also have Ultra FP64 that's been trolling us, and If you haven't hit that like button, it really does help out. Let's get news of this FPGA core out there. Apparently that's how YouTube works. That's what other YouTubers say. I haven't got a clue. I just copy what I hear, or I just repeat what I hear. Right, let's go in and let's do another game. Let's try Tempest Plus. Don't know what that is. 1 player AI droid, 2 player team. Nope. Oh, Anthony Larry's asking, FM Towns Marty possible? Isn't there someone that's looking into that? I can't remember. I don't want to say just in case I'm giving out the wrong information. FM Towns Marty. It's not a system I'm very familiar with. I know it's very much like.
No.
Oops. I think I'm pressing the wrong button for fire again. Right, go. Shot. Nice graphics stuff. I think this will look really good. I've been using my Meta Free headset recently, and I think something like this would just rock on there, man. Just it looks like it will look really good in 3D. The way something like Res looks in 3D. Very impressed with the Meta Quest 3. I bought it, I hardly used it, and I turned it on yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I think it's the fact that it's tetherless that really makes me enjoy it. Because I've got like the PSVR before, but I hate that wire dangling there, man.
Do you ever, of course, Flashback is another game that a lot of people wanted to play on it because that's good. Doom, of course, was the original side of it. I'm just trying to think of the other ones that were on the Jag. There was sort of like
we can run
Rayman.
We can run stuff.
Yeah,
on
Rayman.
Here. Rayman, here you go, Rayman. Let's run Rayman. I'm going to put the sound down slightly because we're not in Tempest land. You'll still get the sound, and you've got the roar of a Jaguar there. I have to say, hearing a Ryan roar, hearing a lion roar, when you hear it on TV and stuff, it's not the same. I remember hearing a lion roar in a zoo, man, and I was like, wow, this is insane. You can feel the vibrations of the damn thing, man.
Yeah. Let's start.
Okay, so Anthony here saying the US pack was Cybermorph. See, Cybermorph, Anthony, I feel like it looks really good. It was a game that I looked at and I was like, wow, that looks really good. And I mean, when I played it, it didn't feel like the worst game. It didn't feel like the best game, but I only played it in stream for a few minutes. So not really a good judge of that. Oh, by the way, Maz, this is looking fantastic, man. This looks perfect. I can't spot anything out of place here.
So that was the whole big thing. Like a lot of the graphical issues was because of the SD-RAM not getting the data fast enough for the core to actually process it.
Ah, so here you go. Error. This is what we saw that somewhere else, didn't we? In Canon fodder, we saw error.
I think this is the EPROM stuff that we're just going to fix up next. So
yeah, it's just weird to have that actually like written there, though. It's like it's kind of put there in the system itself. Wow, this looks fantastic, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gregor, like I said, he's just literally released today the EPROM stuff. So hopefully that actually fixes a lot of that all up.
It's slowing down though. I don't know if you're seeing it there. It's slowing down. It was slowing down a bit there. So it's okay now.
Unfortunately, in the stream, it looks. I can't see it, but I'm watching the stream.
Yeah, it was only during the. It was only during. Oh yeah, maybe you saw it because the stream's a few seconds behind. When I done a jump, it kind of slowed down. But it had that nostalgic slowdown, that makes you think, was this there with the hardware?
Like I said, I've got to double check a lot of this because I've got to pull out my Jag and see how it all goes. Right from there.
Have you got like a flash card for your Jag?
Yeah. So that's the game drive that I've got for it, which also does CD-ROM as well.
Oh, wicked.
So it will be interesting for us to try and get the CD side of stuff all going on
Yeah,
this.
that would be wicked. Because I remember people saying like, can you run Primal Scream? And we're kind of looking for it. And then someone said, no, the Jaguar CD has a bunch of games on there as well. And Primal Rage was one of the CD games. I was like, okay. Right, what we got, guys? Just a heads up, we've got roughly around 20 minutes, give or take, for this stream. It's kind of planned for 2 hours. It's always fun. We can always go on for longer, but yeah, I think I want to take my boys and my mum out for lunch after, so I don't want to delay it too much. Okay, what was the other game that you said we should have a look at?
Well, Cybermorph will definitely be up there,
Yes.
just because I think it became memorabilized for everyone for Angry Video Game Nerd when he did the review of the Jag, the infamous "Where do you want to?" What was it? Where do you learn to fly?
Okay.
Just constantly saying that.
Yes, like the bald-headed lady in here that's always kind of talking to you.
But yeah, once
I mean, this
like I said,
this
we just
looks
got to
good.
work out how to get all of the. We just got to work out all of the number ads and stuff like that on it next, on the controllers.
Well done.
So how does it work? Does a controller having too many buttons, does that present an issue? Or is that not really an issue?
No, just there's a lot of functionality, like the number pad on the Jag core. Essentially, like on Doom, that's how you select all your weapons. On this game here, there's quite a lot of things that are done. I think there's a map, alternate fires, and a few things like that sort of are missing with it.
Do you know what could be crazy as a USB controller that might be a somewhat viable option? So do you remember on the Xbox 360 they released an attachment for your controller that gave you a little keyboard at the bottom, so it was kind of to talk on Xbox Live, so you could type with that. So you know when you're holding a controller, the grips that you've got, the gap you've got in the middle, in like the headphone port or the 3.5, or I think it was even smaller, but the little port that you had in there, you plugged this keyboard in there. It was a tiny little keyboard, but it gave you full functionality. I'm wondering, could something like that be used for this core?
Well, is that already supported in the MiSTer side of things?
The thing is, the Xbox controller is, but this is an accessory that goes into that controller. So it'll be via USB, so it's not going to be a snack thing or anything like that. But I'm just wondering, because you've got a whole keyboard there, and now it won't have like the telephone style numbers there, but what will it have? It will have like it will have the row there from like 1 to 19 and 0. So maybe you can use that for games.
Don't know at the moment. Like I said, that's whether or not that input has gone through onto the MiSTer side of things. That would be good. I don't think that is done on the Pocket. Let's actually see if I can get one of those too.
I mean, on the Pocket, would you have to have like an on-screen keyboard, like similar to what you've got in the Amiga?
Yeah, you would have to do that.
Okay. I mean,
although the other thing I was thinking.
Good work.
The other thing I was thinking is, gosh, what was it?
Right, let's run something else.
Where did you learn?
Someone said Flashback was a game they loved, so let's give that a quick run.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm playing Missile Command.
Ah, cool. Let's have a quick peek at your screen then. There you go. There's Maz's screen.
This is the 3D version of it.
Oh, nice. Nice kind of visual effects there, yeah? Wicked. All right, let's go back to mine while you're having fun down there. Ultra FP64 says, get back to coding.
I'll try to.
This was a difficult game, man. I so like this. I so like this game, and I got further in like another world than I did in this.
Well, going back to the beginning of this, I've got to change. If you turn this on the cart checksum patch, they'll actually start the boot up quicker.
Oh, what is? Have I got that in here, or is it an option?
Yeah. So cart checksum patch.
Where is it?
When you're booting up a game, down one more.
Oh, it's 3. Okay, cool.
So
Wicked. Shall I
that's
save
here.
that?
If you push, save that. If you go reset now,
Okay.
just reset. It'll go Jag, and then did that actually save?
It should have, but even
It's
if not,
usually
it should
quicker.
be. Okay.
Yeah, it just makes it quicker for booting.
Maybe if I actually do a boot of the game instead of a reset, let's see.
Yeah. 3, 4. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Remember, you sent me another version. I think after we started the stream, I've got the version that you sent like 20 minutes before the stream. So the one I think as we were kind of starting the stream, you sent one once I started it. So I haven't got that version in case it's implemented in that. Well, let's have a look. Okay, so let's start this because this is a wicked game. So this was on the Amiga as well. I think this was pretty much out for everything. It was out for Super Nintendo as well, from what I remember.
Amiga, Super Nintendo, Genesis.
Everything, and it looked really well. I don't remember this looking bad anywhere. I remember wherever I saw this, it was good. I remember I love these rolls, man. So there we go, gun away. See, and that sounds mad, but after playing this on the Amiga, I kind of enjoyed playing this on lesser buttons. I might be missing a button to make me go down because of how many buttons I put on there. All right, give me one more game to run, and I think I'll let you share your screen for like the last 15 minutes or so of the stream. So I'll do one more here. Any game? Because we'll obviously have sound.
What's the? Yeah, just there was one more.
Do you know what? What's it? Okay, why you think of that?
Iron Soldier is
Sorry, which one?
an interesting one. It's like a mech warrior.
Iron Soldier, yeah? Or Iron Soldier
Yeah.
2? Which one? 1 or 2?
2's got a bit more textures on it.
Yeah, let's go with 2 then. Yo, Clerman is saying, hey Murray, man. Clerman, I feel like he knows you. But before you say hello back to him, Ultra FP64 is here too, and he says, hello Clerman. Or is this not? Is this one of the ones that doesn't work?
I don't know.
It might be.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, trend number 1.
I will do.
Checkered flag. Better get that one up.
Checkered flag, yeah? Cool. Okay, is that...
Yeah,
are you got? Oh, yeah.
I'll pull it up on my side, but you
cool.
get Iron Soldier.
A quick blast and wow, okay, look at that. I can move up and down the title screen. That's pretty neat. Wow, look how high I'm going up the building. Guys, that's pretty cool. Okay, it does end at the top of that building. That's very, very cool. There's not a lot of games where you can move up and down on the title screen. That's really cool. Very, very cool. Okay, we're gonna go. Let's just go. Wow. Okay, let's go to the bust. Okay. Nice. It almost feels like you're kitting out a transformer.
It's definitely a game where you need all the buttons for it. But it's like
we've got fire.
It's kind of interesting when you start. Yeah. Should have fire. I think you push up to move forward.
No, up there.
Or maybe you've got to hold the button. Like a lot of the games on the Jag, you had to hold the button and push up.
Okay.
Like maybe C.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, we've got a little our radar there that we can.
Oh my god, I'm crashing so much.
Oh, it just kind of flew in from the building. Nice. Ah, nice. I just blew up a helicopter. This is a cool looking game, man. It's a game that at the time this came out, it would have been an interesting game. It looks good for that era.
Yeah, and I've got the what was it? The Virtual Racer clone here going.
Oh, nice. Okay, well let's run to that. Let me give my own a reboot and put your screen back on. So let's go with the Mazza screen. Okay. Oh wow, this looks like virtual racing, doesn't it? I think I ran this on a stream before, where someone mentioned it. So guys, just a heads up, we've got about 10 more minutes left of this stream. So absolutely awesome of Murray, who's in Australia, who's 11 hours ahead of me in the UK. So I'm approaching midday, and Murray's here. Well, Murray's nearly there at 11 p.m. So he was celebrating the New Year even before I went to bed. So I was actually in bed at 10:30. I'm very, very boring now. There was a time when New Year's Eve was like the biggest party night. Now I was struggling to stay up. 10:22 is when I went to bed. But Murray, anything you kind of want to add for the last 10 minutes? Whatever you want to talk about, whether so is there any other future projects you want to talk about? I know you've mentioned the Star Wars core, which you said, I think you said is going to be open source. So if anyone else wants to work on it, they can. You've obviously got the Jaguar single SD RAM, which is honestly a lot of people when they hear about it are going to be super happy. As well as that, you've got Jaguar coming on the Pocket, hopefully. That's something that you're working on. It's not as far along as the MiSTer core. Is there any other things that you're working on? I know there's stuff that you've announced before that might have been forgotten. I don't know if you want to mention any of that. I'll leave that at your discretion.
Yeah, as I said, most of the reason why I've been away for the last year is just because of a lot of personal stuff. So I'm getting back into it all again and stuff like that. And yeah, I really want to make a push for getting stuff like the Jag core, the Star Wars core up and running on both the Pocket, and yeah, I'll chuck them over to the MiSTer as well at the same time. The bigger thing was I actually had a lot of the, and dare I say it, the Virtual Boys sort of up and running. With the PPU and the CPU almost running. So there's quite a bit on that I had to get sorted. So, there's a few things there that are going back in the background. And then, of course, it's just updating most of the cores on the Pocket as well. So, this year's a bit more of an opener for me on doing this stuff again.
Cool.
And hopefully get better at driving this game.
Don't worry, you're a better player than I am. So I'm actually... I love it when someone else plays on stream. So that is awesome. Oh, DSO, fellow Aussie over here. So there you go. You've got some people from your homeland. I think we've got a good representation here. So is Pixel Memories as well. Did you guys get in touch, by the way? Pixel Memories is in chat as well.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, he helped me out with getting the whole case and stuff like that. So
awesome.
I'm very appreciative of what he was. Very appreciative of that. But yeah, and like there's been, like I will say, there have been many other cores that have, many other Jag cores that have had the SD RAM working on a single, SD RAM, but they've always had slowdown and stuff like that because they were just having a problem with the timing and stuff. But the big thing was Grey Rogue. I'll have to give him big, huge ups on this. He tidied up a lot of the code on this core, which made it much more easy to read. And I had, like I said, a lot of the core already done for myself a year ago, already for the single core. And of course, I was able to patch in some of the stuff that I changed on it. So we were able to get it down to a single chip board for the MiSTer side. And of course, we got it on the Pocket as well, which I've got to do some tidy up on there first. But we've also got the timing down to the point where it's exactly the normal of the normal core rate of the standard Jag itself. We've still got to do a bit of testing. We've got to find out why some games don't and do work and things like that. But, there's easy stuff to get through. Should be easy enough.
And going by it, like historically speaking, how you've worked, and I've spoken to you, I said, okay, wow, this course is coming along. You're like, yeah, I've got this and that to do. Yeah, it's going to take me a while. And I remember like being on like night shift at my previous job, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, by the way, 2 hours later I got this working, and I'm like, yeah, cool. those were fun times. Actually, I used to remember that was one part of doing night shift that I enjoyed, was kind of getting updates from you, and then as soon as you kind of put them out or got a copy, I was testing it there while pretending to work on the Analogue Pocket. Okay, so Alan D wants Paperboy Arcade. Yeah, he loves Paperboy. Right, so there's a story behind it. I think when Alan was a kid, he was saved by a Paperboy. And since then, he's loved the arcade gaming, and his ideal job is a paperboy, but obviously it doesn't pay enough. Disclaimer, that was complete bullshit and made up on the spot.
Just trying to think. Oh, we got to do that. Because this one's a bit of an interesting version.
Sorry, I just... Ultra FP64 said that he really fancies the woman from Cybermorph. She's right up his street, especially the haircut.
It must be the voice.
Absolutely. Oh, this is Wolfenstein, right? I didn't see which one you loaded.
Yeah.
This is the one where when they say that German word, it sounds like Hochtor, Hochtor, Hochtor.
But this one is definitely the better graphical version of it.
Do you know what I really like the soundtrack for this? I think the soundtrack's really good. It feels very good.
Technically, this is the HD upgrade version of it.
Oh, really? Okay. So this looks better than Doom, right? I imagine.
Nothing looks better than Doom.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? We were doing a Game Boy Advance stream recently, and when we ran Doom on there, I mean, on the Game Boy Advance screen, yeah, it looks great. It's a Game Boy Advance game, but what happened was looking at it on a big screen, it looked terrible. You know, like when you see the enemies in a distance, they were like a few pixels that you could see. You could make out that there was a shape there, but obviously on a smaller screen, that will look better. So DSO, no, Jag CD isn't something that's implemented at the moment. It's likely a possibility. I guess time will tell. I guess the main thing is getting the core working on single SD RAM, even on the dual SD RAM version, getting stuff where some games launch for some and they don't launch for others. So I guess it's a matter of refining everything, getting it to a certain stage. And once you get it to that certain stage, I imagine the next step would be trying to do some kind of Jag CD implementation.
I don't remember if that was a hidden spot.
You seem to know these games well. So did you actually play these on a Jaguar, or are you remembering like playing the PC versions?
Oh, I remember the PC version of this. Because I used to play that when I was a younger chap. But again, it would be nicer if I had the keypad on this as well, because then you can push all the special buttons for the map and things.
Okay. Can you so in this version here, can you have like your normal keyboard out, do the 1, 2, 3, 4, the normal number keys correspond to anything?
I was actually trying to map it before on the MiSTer, but I didn't. I wasn't able to work that out in time. But that would be a good thing if we can at least do that. Then that gives you all of that side for the first player and stuff like that.
No, definitely. What about on the Pocket? Do you think you can get that keyboard side going as well? Because obviously you've got keyboard working on the Amiga, haven't you?
Well, I was just thinking about doing, using the top buttons. That's sort of like you can use that to do a modifier or something. So left button might be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The right trigger is 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you push them both in as 9, 0.
Okay,
and
interesting.
There's one other button as well. So it's sort of like it'll be like a little bit of a hack for it, but yeah, it'll be better if you have a keyboard to work a lot of it.
Wicked. Well, you know what? Is there any final things you want to show or share or talk about before we call this a wrap?
Like I said, I wish I had got the Star Wars core up and running, so then people could have at least listened to it and heard it go off. And,
sorry about it. That's on me. He gave it to me ages ago, but my memory card failed, and I guess I just didn't go on your. I ran the normal updater and put whatever else came in between. So anything kind of older I had wasn't on there. So, but what we can do is maybe if another time when you've got a bit of time, and I mean I'm usually all right on the weekends, to be honest, or public holidays. So maybe another time we can do another progress update, and we can have that ready and just do a bit more planning to show some work in progress stuff. And maybe we can, play the sounds, or maybe show a bit more of the core if you do get around to that. I know you're working on many things, so maybe some developments can happen.
Indeed, and then hopefully, we'll get a few more cores out this year. Like I said, I'm back into it after everything that's sort of happened this year. Last year I say, and we'll get to hopefully have some more fun times on all of this.
Perfect. Well, guys, you know what? Look, thank you everyone that tuned in. If you enjoyed it, hitting that like button helps out. This is goodbye from myself, PCN. We've got Murray, and let's not forget Ultra FP64. That's saying goodbye, guys, and you all suck. Ultra FP64. Don't say that to the people. All right, guys. Have an awesome 2025. We'll catch up soon. This is PCN and Mazamars and Ultra FP64 out.
Ciao, ciao.